Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
And Marianne behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food at Home. Right, Mira?
Right.
And so we're in our home kitchen today, and we have been on a little bit of a kick, haven't we, Mira, with this dessert. And this is a good old-fashioned dessert, tapioca pudding. And we use the kind that you just open the box and cook and serve, and that's great. But today I thought, Mayor, we would try to make this sort of homemade. Okay?
Okay.
Now I am going to take one shortcut. Instead of using what they call pearl tapioca, which are these little round beads of tapioca, I'm using what they call the quick cooking tapioca, or minute tapioca. And I don't know if you can get in here and see. Can you see that, honey?
Yeah.
And it's granulated.
Okay.
Did you know that the tapioca comes from the root of the cassava plant? Okay, that's where it comes from. That's what tapioca is. So anyways, if you use the whole tapioca, like the pearl tapioca, you have to soak that sometimes even overnight for many hours. And do we have that kind of time?
No.
No, heck no we don't.
Is this called minute tapioca?
Minute tapioca, sometimes, depends on the brand, sometimes it's called quick cooking tapioca, okay? But that's what we're going to use.
Okay.
All right? So the first thing we're going to do is tapioca pudding is a combination of milk, and I have got here, Mare, 2 1/2 cups of milk.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to put it in a saucepan. I do not have the heat on yet. Okay? I haven't turned the burner on. So 2 1/2 cups of milk. Please do not. You can make this with skim milk if you want. It's not going to be the creamy kind of consistency that we like, right?
Right.
So 2% milk is good, or whole milk is great. You could really rich it up if you wanted to, Mare, and use half and half, okay? But 2 1/2 cups of milk. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. Then I got 1 egg here, okay?
Okay.
We're going to put the egg in there. Okay. Now I'm going to get a whisk here, and I'm going to whisk together the egg and the milk. Get that combined. And when we put egg and milk together, Mare, what do we get? Custard.
Custard.
Okay? And so this is going to be a custard-based pudding. Okay. So we've got our milk and our egg mixed together. Then I've got 1/3 of a cup of sugar. I'm going to put that in there. And then I got our tapioca, 3 tablespoons, okay, of the quick cooking tapioca. I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to stir that around. You really want to get that sugar to kind of dissolve, okay? If you want it less sweet and more custardy, instead of using 1/3 of a cup of sugar, you could take it down to 1/4 of a cup, okay? But, all right. Now, it's all stirred together. The heat is off. We are going to walk away at this point, okay?
Okay.
We're going to give it 5 minutes, because even though that tapioca is quick cooking, it needs to soften up a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So we're just going to let this hang out for 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to turn the heat on and start cooking our homemade tapioca pudding. So, honey, we mixed everything together. We let it hang out 5 minutes. Then I turned the heat here to just medium, okay? And we are gradually going to bring this up to a boil. And you got to keep stirring, because anytime you're cooking milk, it scorches very easily, you know, like on the bottom of the pan. So you want to keep that moving, but it's got to come to a full boil. So I'm just kind of every so many seconds giving it another whisk, whisk, whisk. If you can just turn the camera and let's show our friends where we're going to put this stuff. So I've got custard cups. These are glass little ramekins here. I got 6 of them. And so that is where we're going to put the pudding once it's done. Now the only other ingredient that I have to put in there is the vanilla. But I'm not going to do that until after it boils. And then I'm going to take this off the burner and then add the vanilla off the heat. Okay? So it's coming up pretty quick. It's starting to really, it's starting to really get hot, so it's going to come boiling. Now, as this begins to cool, it will thicken up. And some people like to serve this warm. It's like a warm pudding. But some people like it chilled. And that's normally how we usually have it, right?
Right.
And if we have a little whipped cream, we'll put that on top too, won't we, honey?
Yeah.
But anyways, so, okay. So I'm stirring. Let's take a quick break, but we're going to come right back when this starts to bubble and boil. Oh, it's a bubbling now, isn't it, sis?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I'm going to just cook this for a minute at the full boil, because this is when it gets its thickening. And you can kind of see it thicken as it boils. And we got to bring it to this point, and then it will thicken more so as it cools, but you really want to see these bubbles like that, okay, that just keep on bubbling, and then that tells you you're at a full boil. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, honey, is let me shut this burner off, and I'm just going to come over here. How's that, Iana?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to add 1 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, because that's the nice flavor that we like in the tapioca, is the vanilla. And we're going to stir that in, again, off the heat. Okay. Now, I'm going to let this cool for, maybe 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back and I will transfer them over, we'll transfer the pudding out of the pot and into our little custard cups.
Okay.
And once we put them in the custard cups, I'm going to cover them with plastic wrap. But, you know how, you ever have pudding there that has that skin on the top of it?
Yeah, that's nasty.
It's nasty. You heard her, folks. It's nasty. It is nasty. No one likes pudding skin. So there's a way to avoid that, and that is by putting the plastic wrap directly on top of the pudding. And that will help prevent it from developing that skin. And I'll show our friends when we come back. So, but here's our wonderful tapioca. And we are just going to let it cool for a few minutes because it's really hot right now. And then we'll come back and get it in our custard cups. Okay, honey, I let it cool a few minutes. You see how thick that is now?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm good with that. Now, I'm going to fill these custard cups here. Maybe start with 3 ladles in each one. What I like about this too is when we've got a gang over for dinner, this is nice because it's just pre-portioned.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like you can just give everybody this and everyone gets the same thing. No one's worried about who has a bigger piece of whatever. So but this should make, I think, 6 nice servings. And then, yeah, I get the last one, but what I want to do is, let me show you how I'm going to wrap these. So I'm going to get a little piece of plastic wrap like so. Okay, we're going to go right down inside and put it on the surface of the pudding. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Just like that. This will prevent that skin from forming as it cools.
Okay.
Okay? That nasty skin that we don't like. So I'll do the other ones, but then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator and we'll let them chill out for a few hours. And then we'll get to tasting our homemade tapioca. So, they've been in the fridge for a good long while, and they're nice and cool now. I like to use a tray when I have these. It's just easier to manage them all. But anyways, I'm going to start with this. You can see I've got the plastic wrap right on the top. Can you see that, honey?
Yeah.
And I'm going to peel it off slowly. So you might have a little bit stick, but that's okay. I'd rather have that and none of the pudding skin, right?
Right.
Now, we got to start keeping a can of whipped cream in this house at all times. We don't have any. Whipped cream would be nice. You know what's also nice on here?
Cinnamon.
A little cinnamon. Again, a nice, if you had the whipped cream and the cinnamon on the whipped cream, then you're really cooking, okay? But since we don't have the whipped cream, I'm going to put a little cinnamon on there. And let's just have our, I don't know if you can lean in a little bit here, Amir, and see that, how beautiful that is. Look at that. Wonderful. Oh, so nice. There's something about the texture, you know, of the tapioca. It's just fun to eat. It feels good when you're eating it. And, you know, you're sort of getting that custard, you're getting that custard goodness, and then you're getting that wonderful vanilla flavor. And those little tiny beads of tapioca. Gosh, that's good. Talk about a simple pleasure, huh, Mare?
Yeah.
It's so good. Anyways, you know what? It's easy to make, and it's a wonderful dessert. And if you want to have something that maybe you haven't had for a long time, make yourself a batch of tapioca pudding. Nothing to it. So, the recipe is in the description below the video. Marianne, let's remind our food friends of the website.
cavalcadeoffood.com.
That's it, cavalcadeoffood.com. I'm going to thank my kid sister for working the camera today. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
And we'll thank our food friends for spending a little time with us at home today. And we will look forward to seeing you again real soon, right back here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye.